For more on our top story, the death of basketball great Kobe Bryant in a helicopter crash in California. I'm joined live by ESPN and the Undefeated senior writer Michael Fletcher. Michael, thanks very much for your time. Just first of all, authorities haven't told us a lot about the accident itself. Any more word filtering through on other victims or causes or anything like that?
You know, we don't know yet. There are reports that it was foggy Sunday morning in California when the crash occurred, and we've updated the number of fatalities. I believe the latest number I've heard is 9, including, as you well know, Kobe Bryant's 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, who was an emerging basketball player herself. You know, actually, the two of them were headed to one of her basketball games when the crash occurred. That's what I've heard so far. But our investigators, or U.S. investigators, federal investigators, are headed to the scene now, and we'll probably learn more in the coming days and weeks.
Kobe, the player, he was a bit of a trailblazer. He went straight from high school, was picked up actually by the Charlotte Hornets initially at pick 13 and traded straight on to the LA Lakers. I'm sure they regretted that because he was incredibly consistent. Basically from year 2 was just representative, all-star year after year.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And he became a Laker legend. You know, the Lakers are one of the NBA's signature franchises. They've had great players through the years: Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. These are all Lakers. And, now LeBron James is a Laker, and Kobe is among the greatest. He played all 20 years in the NBA with the Lakers, and, was just a great player. I believe he won 5 NBA championships, 2-time finals MVP, 18-time All-Star, just one of the true greats of basketball. And I think he transcended sport. I mean, when I heard word of the crash today, I was at the gym, and everyone was stunned. People who didn't look like basketball fanatics or fans, or people who looked too young to have known Kobe at the height of his career, but nonetheless, people were upset and kind of in stunned silence when the word came across on the TVs in the gym. And I think that's representative of what I've seen on TV and around the country since then. Absolutely, a great player and kind of a cultural figure.
Someone that was just known. He was so famous and so big. He was just Kobe. Of course, the most successful period for him on court, 3 titles in a row, was the same time as this sort of on-off court feud with Shaquille O'Neal, his teammate, which had all of America talking for several years, didn't it? After their careers, they or in the late stages anyway, they sort of patched things up.
Oh, they really did. Really, because at one point it felt like like you said, there was this kind of tension between the two, and it ended up to kind of the breakup. Shaquille O'Neal being shipped out from LA to the Miami Heat, where he went ahead and won a championship there. And the two were at loggerheads for a while, but then when I think their careers ended, they became friends, and and today I saw a tweet from Shaquille O'Neal where he was just expressing grief about hearing this terrible news.
It's going to be so sad for his family, obviously his wife and 3 remaining daughters. You mentioned Gigi as well, a promising basketball player herself. It's been telling that there have been so many kind words for him, and even one opposition coach basically speechless when he was responding to the media soon after the news. It really does seem to be a family everyone had a lot of respect for, and he's clearly a very loyal man in his life, personal life and sporting life as well.
No, that's absolutely true. I had the privilege of meeting him once, it was a year ago, long after his playing career, and he had, part of, I think, the deal was he made the transition from being a great player to kind of that life after basketball, which is a very difficult transition for many athletes. But in Kobe's case, he became a filmmaker, won an Oscar for a short, a film short. It became kind of an advocate for women's sports because of his daughter's interest in playing basketball and her talent at playing basketball. Gigi, who died with him. So he, like I said, he transcended basketball in so many ways. And, people, I think, in many ways, he kind of shows you the power of sports. Like with all our political division and everything, people from Barack Obama to, President Trump are mourning his death.
Indeed. Well, look, still trying to figure out exactly what happened to authorities, obviously, but Michael Fletcher, really appreciate your thoughts on the life and times and career of Kobe Bryant. Thank you.